All right, welcome back in here to the Coach Mark Schmidt Show, presented as always by Aria Health, as well as Faulkner Auto Group and NeshamonyFootball.com. December rolls on here, the first week in December. We're still playing football, Coach. It's pretty exciting Thanksgiving, I'm sure, for you, with the big Black Friday win over North Penn, 42-7, to be District 1 champions, and move on to the Eastern Regional Finals to take on St. Joe's Prep this Saturday afternoon at Northeast High School. A game you can hear on 1490 WBCB. Also come on out to Charlie Martin Stadium and see the game live as well. But first, Coach, North Penn, I'll tell you, week in and week out, we feel like we've seen your guys' best game. You come out against a very good North Penn team and really controlled the game from almost the get-go.
Yeah, very happy. I wasn't surprised. We were hopeful because we had a good week of practice, and we had a good handle on what they were doing, and defensively, our guys really were dialed in to stop their big plays, and they really take advantage of your aggressiveness with play action, and they really do a great job with screens. Our kids were just so tuned into what they were doing, and then offensively, we kind of kept it a little simple, but we kind of put them in some places that we kind of knew they were hopefully going to be in, and then we were ready for it, and our guys executed.
Yeah,
it was really it was a little more basic, but we felt that if we ran the clock a little bit, and kept them off the field, it would keep us fresh, and then North Penn can do what we do as far as chunking it up a little bit out there. And our defense gave us great opportunities. Our special teams, I thought, really picked it up a notch. All the guys, we challenged them Monday because I thought we were pretty lousy the last 2 weeks, and they played better. So, here we sit.
Line of scrimmage, something you touched on after the game. Last week against Abington, I'm sure, was important, and this week even more important against North Penn. And you guys really came out with an effort and an energy to kind of control that line of scrimmage to where your running game at times just looked unstoppable. And not just from the DeAndre Pollard standpoint, just from the double tights and the guards and the tackles and just playing good football.
Yeah, and as I said, we kind of had an idea about what their plan was going to be, and so we set it, and I thought everybody really did a nice job. I thought Tyler did a good job, even though wasn't throwing it much, but snap counts and ball handling was good, and of course the offensive line, fullbacks played great, and and I got to give Hamad Pack, he was the one wideout out there for most of the game. Some of those plays, he was blocking that perimeter for us, and it's a team game when you do that stuff.
And you mentioned that all year. I mean, Hamid in a game like last Friday where it's smash mouth 8-9 the box. At times he was singled out there, but blocking in this offense is so important. Not just from the tight ends and the tackles and the guards, but the guys in the perimeter as well.
It is, and I think that's important. And obviously, there's some things that are available, in our package that we have. And we were fortunate enough not to get to that point where we had to do those things. So we'll hang on to them for another week and see if we need them.
DeAndre Pollard, obviously, another great game for him. But more surprising, early at least, was the work of Denny and Blake Sullivan, two fullbacks who you mentioned all season long have been catalysts for DeAndre and others. But Blake ran very tough. It seemed like there was an extra added step to them week 15.
And I think maybe the weather did us a little bit of a favor. It kept us indoors for 2 days. It didn't really. We worked hard, but there wasn't as much running, wasn't as much banging, and we limited. We were in full pads inside, but we limited what we worked on, and maybe that rest kind of just got us going, and maybe the fact they could sleep in a little bit on Friday and then get up and play a football game, that kind of just got them freshed up.
Your first district title since 2004. I know this is a special group with you because a lot of guys have been here what felt like a while now. The Denny's, Nicole Creighton's, and Luke's, and Devin Brown, and all these guys. How special is it for you to celebrate Friday night and Saturday with all those guys?
It was great, and I was I was very happy. I was relieved that that the boys were able to get a championship under their belt, play a team that had beaten beat Pennsbury and that sort of thing. So, I don't want to make a big thing about that, but,
Right.
It's important for our guys, and it's that simple. But to have them have an opportunity to have a championship and feel and get that sense of accomplishment, and then the fact that they showed up Saturday morning ready to go.
Yeah.
Nobody staggered in, nobody was late, nobody even, and get to work. And then yesterday their attitude was terrific, to say the least. And I'm not big on superlatives, but it just kind of was like, wow, okay, well, let's keep on rolling. And we all went up to the prep park one game, and a couple coaches stayed back and showed the game film, and we got done with it. And the phones were buzzing. Who do we have? And now we're going to stay. It's almost a home game for us, really. Sure. It's closer probably than Souderton. So
it's very apropos. One week you're the home away team. This week now you're the home team. So
it's kind of whatever. So I listen. The one thing I told myself, I said, just don't stress. Don't worry about stuff that you can't control. Right. So Souderton couldn't have been nicer. The trip, actually, that was my concern, was just no accident, no hold-ups on the traffic. Gosh, our bus drivers were awesome. They were rolling, and the accommodations were good, and the people at Souderton couldn't have been nicer. The field's great, so we've been up there 3 times this year.
That's right.
So and we were at Charlie Martin and last year and played Northeast, so we're familiar with that surrounding. So look, let's go play football.
You mentioned your guys Friday night. I think it was, some people have the 24-hour rule or the couple-hour rule where it's, we're happy we're district champs, but let's not be complacent now and say we're district champs. Whatever happens after this, whatever. And you seem like your guys kind of bought into that real quick when you said, let's not take this for what it is. It's a district title. It's we have more to do.
Right. And I think it's pretty apropos. And I we closed the door yesterday and had a very heated team meeting about it, and then I said my piece, and then a couple other guys stood up and said their piece, and then we went out and went to work. Yeah. So I think everybody has a good approach, and I think we're starting the week knowing we're going to play a very good football team, and we've got to be on point in a big way, and hopefully we will.
We'll see Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock at Charlie Martin Stadium, as Coach Mark Schmidt mentioned. A game you can hear on 1490 WBCB. You can also come out to Charlie Martin Stadium and see the game live. And the winner will be going to Hershey next weekend for the state title. When we come back, we'll talk about that game here on the Coach Mark Schmidt Show, presented by Aria Health, NeshamonyFootball.com, and Faulkner Auto Group. We'll be right back.
At an orthopedic institute, world-class specialists, surgeons, and technology are a must. Personal care is too. The Aria 3B Orthopedic Institute is redefining care in Center City, Bucks County, and South Jersey. With over a century of experience, the 3Bs, Doctors Booth, Bartolozzi, Balderston, and their partners personally guide you from treatment through recovery. For joint replacement, sports medicine, spine care, and more, call 1-888-ORTHO-3B or visit aria3bortho.org. At the Aria 3B Orthopedic Institute, you come first.
Schmidt Show is brought to you in part by NeshamonyFootball.com, a proud supporter of Neshamony football. Whether it's 2013 team information or look back at Neshamony's 85-year football history, make it NeshamonyFootball.com.
If you are looking for a new car, where do you go? Faulkner Auto Group at 4427 Street Road in Trevose is where to go. For the best deals in Bucks County for all of your new or pre-owned cars, trucks, or SUVs, go to Faulkner Auto Group. It is always Faulkner to be sure. You can also always go to www.faulknerautogroup.com. Just remember, this year it's Faulkner Auto Group for your new car or truck. 4427 Street Road in Trevose to be sure. Faulkner Auto Group, 215-364-7720. Faulkner Auto Group, a proud supporter of Neshamony High School football.
All right, welcome back in here, the Coach Mark Schmidt Show, presented as always by Aria Health, Faulkner Auto Group, and NeshamonyFootball.com. Neshamony defeats North Penn last week. They move on to their Eastern Regionals for the first time since 2004. Parkland back then, right? Was it Easton? Easton that had you guys go to the state title game. So I'm sure a lot's changed in the 9 or 8 years mentioned.
Well, that it was interesting. That game.
That Ben Salem, I believe, right?
Right, yeah. And we played. we played the day before, and they played the next day, and because Easton had played Thursday, they played GW, and we went down there at Charlie Martin Stadium and watched the game.
Sure.
And then when they won, we knew we were the home team, so we told them where we were playing. And Saturday we went and played. It's not much different, you know. I think
except the whole turf aspect. That's about it. I guess,
yeah,
right?
Well, and that's fine.
Right.
I mean, I think that's a good assessment. And I think in that game, the turf wasn't an issue.
Right.
But, it was grass, and there weren't many turf fields around here.
No, there was not.
Really. So that's changed, but I think that rule's fine, and I think that Charlie Martin's. I don't think there's a stadium in this part of Pennsylvania that's been used more than that place.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of the road to
That's
Hershey
kind
in
of
a sense.
hardcore.
Yeah, you look at teams like Wood and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, North Penn played us out there and 2 or 3 times, and so look, let's go play.
Good luck for District 1, I guess.
I hope. Shoot, hey, I'll take whatever, man. You got it.
Well, you're facing a team in St. Joe's Prep, defeated Parkland. You saw them up there on Saturday. A team that your one common opponent, North Penn. Both you and St. Joe's defeated them pretty handily. Them back in week 2. You guys in district title game. From Saturday and now what you've seen on film early. Obviously, we know they're skilled. They have a lot of guys from different parts of the area, and what do you see on tape on this team that is excites you to get prep informed and things like that?
It's a challenge. I mean, they're a good football team. They're very well coached. They have good players, and they're North Penn's secondary is very good. One of the best we played. I think this is the best secondary we played. And they're very active up front. They've got some real good linebackers. They're smart. I mean, they come from everywhere. They want to try to confuse you. Yep. They want to try to create, and they don't want to sit around and react. They want to make sure they force the issue, and then come after you. So once you commit, so it's that style. We showed our guys that, and yesterday, and then offensively, it's kind of like, okay, well, what guy do you pay attention to when you cover?
Right.
They line up, 4 guys that are just, that are going to play college football somewhere at a good level, and shoot. And then the guy that really makes it go is the quarterback. And hey, I mean, I want to say it in public so that it's good that way. He's back. He's healthy. He's back. He's coming back from an injury, and if they're fortunate enough to win, then I want them to be at full strength to represent the East. But if we're fortunate enough to win, then I want everybody to say we beat Prep's best team. So I'm all about that stuff, and the opportunity to go out and do those things is there in front of us, and we've got to go get it.
And we talked all year about teams progressing to air raid spreads, 4 wide, 3 wide. It seems like, at least from what I've seen, and you could probably have a better idea than me, that they're kind of a mixed bag. They'll go 3, 4 wide, and they'll throw a draw at you or a pistol set, and they'll come out, and they seem they can do a mixture of things in a sense.
Well, they do, and they can from that position they can also put the tight end and a fullback and power you up just as much, just like we do. So they're very diverse,
right.
And our guys are already on the personnel groupings and stuff, and that was important for us last week to get the looks we wanted. And I can't say enough about that, about all the coaches on the staff, really, putting that extra time in to really get our guys, just relaxed and understanding. And it was very evident out there on Friday night that we had a pretty good grasp of what we had to do, and that has to be the same effect this week, and we're off to a good start.
Now, you guys back in the day, back in the 05, 04s, you guys used to open up your season with St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah.
And Coach Brooks. So, I mean, it's a different group, different coach, different players, but it's a program in a sense that you have some sort of familiarity with. We played them 6, 7 years ago, right. And you know the system, and you know the tradition, you know what they're going to do, and I'm sure that helps in a little bit in a mindset.
Sure. And they take full advantage of the prestige of the school and of the interest of people that go there, and I think you can pretty much look at every sport that they have that is very tough, and their academic standings are very exemplary. And, you know, you drive around, you see the prep sticker, you see the LaSalle sticker. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you know, every time you see our mayor on TV, he's got the prep jacket on. So you know, everybody's got everything going on. But it's a good you know, I don't know much about them. Like we kind of got off the schedule.
Right.
Now, but you know of them, and you hear about them, and like I said, we have some familiarity with one of my ex-coaches on the staff, so there is communication about what they've done, and they've certainly tried to amp it up. And you know, they flew to Texas with a million kids and their families, and you know, spent a couple days down in Texas and opened up their season, and then you know, now here they've gone. So you know, I think he's certainly trying to take it to a level of high importance, and you know, commend him for it. If that's what he's capable of doing, go get him.
And this question may get me in trouble, and this has happened before other times, but it
Got me in trouble.
It should get me in trouble.
Well,
but
it's going to get me mad at you.
It possibly. It shouldn't though, because we should be okay. But do you see a divide between private and public schools in the state? You know, they're meshing now in the state championships. Do you see a sense of divide that, for whatever it is, they look beneath us, or they have ability to do things that we can't do? Is there a divide now?
If you're going to ask the question, let's just cut right to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
You know, each one of their coaches has an area where they go after, where they can go out and get players and get student athletes to go to their school.
Sure.
It's not exactly the case. If we're in any violation of trying to do any of that, you know, we're terminated.
Sure.
So to be able to go out and come from anywhere to your school, that's a nice advantage. Sure. And but they've got to get kids into the school to create revenue, there's revenue building, and that's kind of the budget, and that's the plan. So that's been that way for a long time at prep.
And not just there.
LaSalle, and I think the other Catholic schools that really was a have and a have not have really kind of everybody's amped up. Look what Ryan's been doing.
Yeah.
Look, you know, Wood now took a step, and now they're certainly at a different level. And you know, you know, you're seeing Judge make moves. You're seeing all these schools. O'Hara now, you know, has their own stadium. So you know, look, it's either we're going to step it up or we're going to, you know, close the doors.
Sure.
So, and 5-6 years ago, PIAA brought them in to create revenue.
Yeah.
You know, that also includes the city schools.
Yeah.
And so you've got, you know, Imhotep down there doing very well, and they seem to, you know, be a magnet school that's taking charge down there. So, and I think it's kind of been, it's now starting to happen, and you're seeing those things, and it's been that way for a long time in Pittsburgh with Central, and then you see Erie Cathedral Prep, and you see McDevitt from the Harrisburg area, and now you see Lancaster Catholic in the AA, and you know, so and now we have Wood doing their thing. So you know, if they're allowed to do it, so it's not like it's anybody. There's no violations. I mean, there's no rule breaking, but it's a difference in how it goes, and that's the way it works.
Well, it's got to feel good for your boys and your staff to know that, you know, you guys get what you get in the district. And
but look, Matt. Let's cut right to it. You know, we ain't into that moral victory crap.
No, I understand.
And,
sure.
You know that.
Sure.
You know, we're out here to go play, and we're out here to go test ourselves against a good team, and we're going to go do the best we can. And you know, that's our game plan.
But the one theme you guys will have that, you know, the Catholic schools unfortunately do not, because they draw off such a bigger pool, is that, you know, if you go look in kids' lockers, they got 6th grade Pendle Wildcat teams that their teams on. When these big, you know, conglomerate Catholic schools, unfortunately, they try to mesh chemistry for 2 years, and you got guys like Devin and Luke and Denny that have played on the same team. Is that huge? You sense?
Well, that's true. I mean, no, I mean our guys. I mean, this team is a special group. I mean, they really have a very good bond, and it's not seniors. It's the seniors set the tone. But,
right.
You know, I mean, the Denzel Hughes, the Hunter Kellys, you know, the Mason Jones and Zach Treadway and Will Dogba, the 9th graders. I mean, you know, all those guys are part of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no you know, these guys, you know, tell these guys what to do. I mean, it's pretty cool, and that's kind of fun. And to see those guys, you know, interact and act that way. I mean, you know, those guys pile out of the senior cars on days when we
Yeah.
have to drive in, you know, because they make sure those older guys look after the younger guys, and so and all that. So that's what we've developed. I have no clue what's going on. You know, I'm sure they got a good team aspect,
Sure.
because they wouldn't be where they are if they didn't. You
Sure,
know?
you're right.
So, you know, it is what it is. And Coach Infani's gone in there, and in a short period of time, he's got that place cranking. So, hey, God bless him, and we'll see him Saturday.
Well, Charlie Martin will be cranking on Saturday, 1 o'clock, with a trip to Hershey on the line between the Chamonix and St. Joe's Prep. A game you can hear on 1490 WBCB. You can also come out to Charlie Martin Stadium and see the game live in person. We will actually be here at Neshaminy 11 to noon Friday on BCB to talk about
I
your
didn't know
boys. I just broke news to him before we got here. The high school
I'm the
football
last
team.
to know and all this stuff.
Well, that's usually the case. He's got a lot of work. He just bunkers
Yeah.
down, and you know we don't bother him. So except for Tuesdays.
I
right
took
now.
a hit, though, on Saturday.
You did?
Alabama. That upset me.
Did you watch the game?
I saw the end of it. I got home. We got home, and
Because you're a big Nick guy, we know. So
well, I just like the way they play, and I got to give Coach Malzahn, boy. Well, I'll tell you what, he got his boys ready to go, and as a group is playing like a team. That's
Sure.
So I'm you know, hey, I'm not a fan. I like the fact they run the football.
yes,
You know,
yes.
they run the crap out of it, and you know, so I like that a lot. And but God, you know, hey, good for him.
Yeah,
great
it really
stuff.
was. It really
Both teams, you know, battle, and what a great play.
And now the BCS debate lives on for
Oh,
another week or
gee
two.
whiz.
So you got teams that are undefeated that may not go to the national championship games. That should be a lot of fun, possibly.
Okay.
So that's going to be a.
That I'm not. Once the game was over, I kind
That's
of
right.
put my
Then
mind
you,
back.
but then you put it back Sunday afternoon to watch your Birds. Big win over the
I
Cardinals.
didn't watch too much of that.
Well, they won, so good
Well,
news.
I actually listened to Merle on the way up.
Oh yeah.
From here, because we were here till about 1.
Oh, you were? Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So just trying to
Iron things out.
get organized.
I got it. Well, we appreciate Mark, and we appreciate Neshaminy letting us do this all season. And hopefully we'll see you next week as we talk about possibly a trip to Hershey next week. I have my hotel room ready to go. So I'm hoping.
Don't get, look,
I'm sorry.
hey,
That's when we get in trouble now.
one
so.
game, that'll make it.
I know. I know. Well,
All right, we do it one at a time, and we
Uh-huh.
move on. Okay.
you got it.
We didn't have a St. Joe Prep tape in our hand until Saturday afternoon.
Right. Right. Well, we look forward to that game on this Saturday afternoon at Charlie Martin Stadium, 1 o'clock on BCB. Also listen 11 to 12 on Friday to hear some of the players, the coach, and others involved here from the Chamonix High School as we get set for a big game this Saturday afternoon. So for Matt Miro from WBCB, Coach Mark Schmidt from the Chamonix, signing off, saying we'll see you next week, everybody. Take care.